It automatically puts you in suggestion mode, highlight and make suggestions on their document. Hi, I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to show you what the Classwork tab does in Google Classroom and what all you can do with it. So first, we're going to start up our Google Chrome here and go to Classroom. And we're going to work on Starship maintenance and upkeep in our great Google Classroom. Now, when you go into here, there's a bunch of stuff in Google Classroom on things that we can do. Today, we're just going to concentrate on this Classwork tab. What you can do with it, what it's for, why you have it. So they give you some help. You can create assignments and da-da-da-da-da-da. So we're going to go through everything under the create so you can see what all those do. So the first item we're going to create is a topic. Now, topics are purely cosmetic. They are there so you can organize different assignments all underneath the same item. So students can just go to that topic and see everything underneath it instead of having to dig through classwork and trying to find what they need to be doing when. So under create, we can create a topic. And our first topic in our Starship maintenance and upkeep is going to be transporter maintenance. If you look on the left side now, I have all topics and then I have the transporter maintenance. Let's add one other topic. Shuttlecrafts. Is shuttlecrafts one word or two? I believe it is shuttlecrafts, not shuttle crafts, which would be, I don't know, crafts you make out of shuttles. You would think, as much as I like Star Trek, that I would know that. I have two topics now, transporter maintenance and shuttlecrafts. And over here, I can click on transporter maintenance and it'll only show me items in the transporter maintenance topic, and same as with shuttlecrafts. These topics can be based on date, so you could do by the day, you could go by the week, you could go by the month. Depends on how you want to organize your class, the age of your students, how much can they handle trying to find things. So that's going to be something personal that you'll have to decide and play around with. You can always redo these and make it easier or better for you. I love how Google does everything as URLs, links to the items. These 3-dot menus gives you a few things, and we already saw the rename, so I could fix my shuttlecrafts topic. But the other one is copy link. Now that link looks pretty long, and I'm going to paste it here, but that link will go directly to that topic. So I can use that link in other places. I can email that to the students saying, here's what we're working on this week, and it'll be a link directly to that topic. And when they go to it, it goes directly to transporter maintenance. So back to my classwork tab, and I'm going to use the create. We're going to create something in transporter maintenance. We're just going to do an assignment first. So I have my assignment here. I gave it a title, History of Transporters, and I gave the instructions. Now, underneath the add, I can add references to different files in my Google Drive. I can also create a Google Doc. We're going to do create a Google Doc because we want them to write a little paper. I can call this, for this paper, it's going to be very open-ended. They're going to write what they want into a one-page report. If you're going to use this with, you could put questions in here that they have to answer in the Google document. And you can do that with the other different types of Google file types. So you can do it with a slides or sheets. You can fill it out a little bit beforehand and then have them fill out the form as you finish it. So I'm just going to leave this as is. Now, this will update soon, where it says student can view the file. So If I save it right now, the students can just look at this and that's all they can do. We want them to type their report into it. So instead of students can view file, I'm going to say make a copy for each student. If I do the students can edit file, you will have one file that all of the students will have access to. They can all write in it, they can all delete out of it. That would be something if you wanted to do like a collaborative notes for your class, then you would just give them students can edit file and they can all collaboratively work on notes for the entire class. But in this case, I want to make a copy for each student. Now, over on the right, I can select particular students that I want to do this assignment. We're just going to let them all have to do it. I can change the class. If I had multiple classes, I could assign the same assignment to multiple classes. I can put points in here on how many points are available. I would set a due date because students have a habit of not doing things if they don't know when it's due. And you can also put in the time and look, it automatically filled in midnight. Now this topic, we want this in transporter maintenance, so I'm going to select transporter maintenance under topics. I can also create a new topic, so if I'm planning out, I can create a new topic and it's there. So I'm going to do transporter maintenance. These two, rubrics and check plagiarisms, are going to be the subject of another video because that's getting pretty in depth. Once I hit assign, you are very, very limited on what you can do to this assignment, like attaching documents or editing the document, especially editing the document. You will not be able to edit this document if you forgot to put something in a template that you want to share with them. Once you hit assign, Google is going to go, Classroom is going to go out, make a copy for each student and put it out there for them to use. You cannot do anything. So if you're working ahead, I almost always tell people to just use Save Draft. And it'll show up down here, it's in gray because it's still in draft. But until you are absolutely positively sure that you want to assign it, I would always save as draft because it will just solve some headaches for you. And it did pick up my title that I used for that document. So I'm ready for this. I'm going to assign it. Students will see the assignment. And we can go to Johnny. And Johnny has that assignment. So Johnny would click on the assignment and look, the Google document that I shared, it's automatically named with his name in front of it and then important people in transporter history. So Johnny can view the assignment if he wants to. And it even tells them where they can use to turn it in. Then click on the assignment and there's a turn in button up here. So this is Johnny's view. Your view, if you go to view assignments, you can see all the kids and they have their assigned document. If you click on one of their names, you can then open up their document and see what they've typed in. And see, this is what they've typed in. Now, it automatically puts you in suggestion mode, so you can highlight and make suggestions on their document. So now I suggested that for Johnny here on his. I can give the grade, I can add some comments to it, I can hide that over there. Makes it really, really easy to go through and grade their document. And when I'm ready for them to, this is grayed out because he hasn't turned it in yet. So I can look at their documents as they're working and give suggestions before they turn it in. And these I could return it to them if I want them to redo it, or when we're done grading, they could get a copy of it. This folder here is very, very important. If you click on it, it's going to open up your Google Drive and you can see their files. Now, I don't know why there are two in here for Johnny Knight. Oh, I know why. Because Johnny Knight got signed out and then Google decided, I'm going to make two of them. They're both owned by Johnny, so he'll still be able to do his work. See, he's still getting the correct one. So the folder here will open up all of their documents, and that's a neat way to see the last modified. You can see who has worked on it, because we'll do last modified, oldest at the top. So I can see that Mary has not worked on hers and Jenna has not worked on hers either. I'm going to delete this one because, oops, there we go, because it's just going to confuse me. So if it was another day, I could look back and say, Mary, you haven't started on your document yet. Do you need any help? Is there anything I can do to help you with that? And we can do that just from this folder. If you're back in your Starship on the classwork page, there is a class drive folder. Now, if you didn't know, Google Classroom puts everything in My Drive in Classroom. You'll have a folder for each one of your classes, and that folder is shared with any of the teachers you might be co-teaching with. That's the main folder. So this folder here is shared with your teachers and everybody else. Inside here will be files that you've created. See, there's my template that I created when I created that assignment. Here's a folder that has all of the other students' work in it. And this folder here is also shared with just you and the teachers. And this templates folder is shared with you and the teachers. So you and your co-teachers can add stuff to these folders and work on them. So we created a regular assignment. We're going to jump down here to a question. Question is a way to just get some quick feedback on one item. Now you can attach other documents and everything. I would not use those for the question. I would just use those, and if you've used forms, you can kind of see you have short answer or multiple choice. So I can add multiple choice down here, or I can just do short answer. These over here are the exact same way. Students can reply to each other. So this can be used to facilitate online discussions. You could ask the question, and then they could start replying to that question, and they can reply to each other. If this is unchecked, they can only reply to the question. If this is checked, they can reply to other people's responses. So the conversation can grow online just from this question. So I'm gonna ask that so you can see what it looks like for Johnny here. And look, I forgot to give it a topic, so it puts it at the top. That's a class comment. Over here is where he would need to type in his answer. And once he turns in his answer, you can see the classmates' answers. I'm gonna leave that. And then other classmates could respond to it. So you can click on all students and see everybody's answers. Johnny Knight, and he could just see his. So the questions, they can ask a question. They don't get to see the other students until they've replied, they've answered the question. So it's a neat little way to do some very limited discussion groups. And we will sign in as Mary. And if I would type the right address. So here's Mary. She can't see Johnny's answer until she types in hers. Now she can see classmates' answers, and she can reply to them because we checked, letting them reply to other answers. So when you work on this class comments is not as important as them typing in their answers. And it'll take some teaching them the first time so they can get the hang of, okay, how do I do this? And then you can go in and just give them their points for the question. There, now it's in Starship Maintenance. So that is the question type. Quiz assignment, that's going to be for another video. That's using Google Forms. Material, this is if you want to share different websites, movies, links, presentations, you would use them in the material. These are materials for the course. A syllabus you could put in there. You can connect to it from Google Drive, or you can create it from here and then fill it in however you want to do it. But you notice over here, there is no points, there's nothing. It's just resources for the student. That's underneath the materials. And then reuse posts. If you have an assignment that you want to use again, you can go and reuse that post. And when I go to Starship, here's the assignments that I've done in Starship that I can reuse. That reuse though, I can reuse them from other classes. Now, Isolinear Chips and Salsa doesn't have any assignments yet, so I can't do that in here. But that's what that reuse post. So if you're teaching 3 periods of the same class, you can create the assignment for one and check up here to add them. Or if one class is farther behind the other ones, maybe you don't want to share that assignment with them right then. In that case, you could go to that class. I used the wrong one. I want the history of transporters because look, it grabs in my document automatically that I did use for the other one. Grabbed in all of this stuff. Everything's here, ready to go. So that was a look at the different assignment types in Google Classroom. I'll be doing more videos really digging into each assignment type because it's really hard to fit all of them into a video that's not hours long. Be sure to like this video and check my website out over at educate.me. Stay classy.